So it's most likely Seraph. So then I'm on the clock here.
Okay, so right now...
But then I think I should go a bit more aggressive because she doesn't have enough removal.
Right now he's simply explaining his thought process.
So I drew another
all the
Aria.
turns.
I still do not have a 4-drop. Not like it.
So first thing first, I just have to wait until he finishes the game and then
so
I can analyze the
I'm just gonna put
replay.
down another Aria. And I'm not gonna put down the other Heavenly Hound now. Because I wanna save it for later, like one word can help, but you know what, actually I'm gonna put it down because I'm gonna kill the other one anyway, and I said that I wanna go a bit more aggressive now. Just kill the Unica with the other Hound and then it's her turn. I know it's her Evo turn and probably I don't know, but it's just one Hound. I mean, if she wants to waste the Tina on it, then I mean let her be. Mine. Yeah, she just traded. And death sentence. What the hell is that?
Trade? The
in
fuck?
that deck. Yeah, so that's goodbye to my Aria most likely.
Trade at all. But we'll get to it.
And I can't put down tea time now. Because I have 4 on the board, and even if I did, there's a good chance. I don't think I would put it down even if I had the space for it. Because then that sentence would just probably kill it anyway. And that's kind of a waste. Although the amulet can just tick. So I think I'll just put it down for the amulet itself. Yeah, I did that. I don't need the other one. I'll just put it down so the amulet can tick. It has a good place on board. I don't need it in hand anyway. I don't think she will play out anything before turn 8. Unlike, I mean, besides removal. And maybe a judge or something else. So let's put the draw. Dogma, Aria. Well, I'll just play out the Aria. And I'm not gonna Dogma it. Because I'm next turn if she puts up something, but and I can just Dogma it next turn probably. However, maybe it's still a good decision to proc it with Dogma. But I think I'll just proc the tea time, the Dogma, not the Aria. I'll do that. I'll just do the tea time. Oh yeah, another play. That's gonna be 4 or 5. Yeah, I feel like playing Stormhaven now, not even Aegis, because I drew like yeah, she's playing pretty passive. I'm sure she has a Themis in hand right now, or something else. I'm just gonna Evo this for an extra damage.
So I'm gonna make some notes, just to make it simple after
she might have a Themis
placed
anyway,
out, so I can analyze everything.
I just want to get in as much damage as I can before turn 9. I mean her turn 9, because I don't think I can win with Aegis if she has Seraph in hand right now. So I'm just gonna try and her with just amulets. I got really lucky with them. What the hell? She runs Exorcist. I mean, it's fine, but it's a really interesting choice. Now it could work out in her favor. Yeah, so she cleared my board, which is sad, and I have lots of clear in my hand, which is also sad. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the Tribunal. She can still be playing Aegis, but since I'm first, I hope I can draw Aegis first. I'm probably still gonna. Yeah, it's Seraph. Sorry. Yeah, it's Seraph. She put the Seraph, so I'm most likely lost. And yeah, I have the Aegis in hand, but I can't really do anything with it. So I'm just gonna put down the Aegis as nothing else I can really do here. I'm not even going to Evo the Actually, yeah, I mean Evoing the wouldn't really help because I could just Evo the. Okay. Yeah, so now if she has 3 CDR cards, then she won. Good for her.
Well, that's a
And most
given.
likely she will have so.
Nothing to do here, to be honest. Let's just wait until he finishes
I
playing
don't think I
playing
could
his
have done
turn.
anything else besides this. I mean, I didn't really use, besides the Hound Unica trade at the beginning, I didn't use anything else up for just pure trading. So, well, she was Seraph, I was Aegis, just kind of
Oh,
good at, and she gave a good draw. So yeah, that's it.
yeah, I see.
So let's
The
hear your
victory.
judgment.
So the things you could do differently, I mean, sure, it's Seraph versus Aegis. So Seraph have inherited advantage of play cards that can simply win versus you. So he'll just play Seraph, then play countdown removals, and then you're gonna lose. That's a given. So that's how this matchup goes. But there are two things that you could really do differently, and one of them was turn 4, where you could just pass the turn instead of playing Heavenly Hunt. Because, sure, you played Heavenly Hunt and he traded into it, but he was on the Evo point. So you simply played a creature to die in vain, because he could play anything, evolve it, and then make use of his Evo point. That's what he should actually do, but he didn't even use his Evo point, which was really weird, but maybe he didn't have any creature that could overcome the obstacle, or maybe he had some valuable choices. Anyway, if it was any other matchup, you would simply lose your creature for free. So you were saying like, "Well, it's only one Heavenly Hunt," but most of the time it will matter in the late game, and Heavenly Hunt can be a 2/4 with ward. So you really want to use
Yeah,
this
I wouldn't
ability to your
have done
favor.
this in another matchup.
Yeah, but even in this one, losing a creature for free is not that great, and also you're fine with him going into your face. You had Temi's Decree, you had Tribunal later on, so your deck is simply packed with removal and some healing, because you have curates. So unless it was a Aegis Mirror, which it wasn't, but you still were going the first, so you would play your Aegis first. This kind of pressure, so 2 damage from your opponent, doesn't concern you, and you are just happy to take some damage to make a big turn. And the other thing you could do differently was the turn 5, where you could simply apply pressure on him. So instead of removing counters from the Biscual area, you removed some counters from the March Harity time. So it wasn't enough pressure. If you wanted to just draw a card, it was better to use it on the Biscual area, so you would summon Falcon, you could evolve the Falcon right away and swing into his face for 4. So then he would have to do something about your creatures on the board, and then once again, your next turn, your countdown amulets will go down by 1, maybe you will draw something and apply pressure once again. Because right now, you simply lost by 1 turn, next turn you would have lethal, so maybe if you applied a little more pressure in the early game, then you could overcome this, but nonetheless, this was a really hard matchup, so there is not much things you can do better.
Yeah, okay. But do you think I improved a bit from last time?
Well, it's really hard to judge on the basis of one game where you went the underdog because your opponent had a counter matchup. So it's not
Yeah.
like you can say someone improved or not after one game. It must be a lot of games to just judge the micro decisions, because not every game will put you in a situation where you have to judge or trade differently. Like there will be games where you have no complicated trades, there will be games where you can simply go face and ignore everything. So, and especially in Haven versus Haven, when this matchup is simply based on whoever gets their win condition first. So your win condition is damage, his win condition is Seraph. So he was simply faster.
True. Yeah. Well, I kind of knew this at the beginning when it was Prison Priestess played out.
Hmm. And
Yeah. Well, so let's do another one.
yep, sure. Also, the Priestess can be played in the Storm version, and that's because she can simply bring down the Storm amulets, which you always want on your board. And especially in the versions with the Golden Lion of the City. They are present right now.
I don't think I would play Prison Priestess in anything else but Seraph.
Yeah, it's most
I don't
common
know.
in Seraph.
The 3 play point 2/2 body is just, I don't know, it just doesn't cut it for me. I mean, there are better 3 play point options. Like for Storm, it's like Birdsong is obviously a better choice.
Yeah, it is, but it's also a tutoring mechanism and it's thinning your deck. So you can always consider that he might be something else, but of course Seraph is the most common outcome.
Okay, so it's Grimnir, Snow White, and Scripture, and
Hmm.
I don't want to keep Grimnir, and I will keep the Snow White in the Scripture. I don't know. A week ago, I would have kept the Grimnir and played it out on turn 3, but now I know I mean I have Snow White and
Hmm.
Scripture to cover turn 2 and 3 probably.
Yep, Snow White and Scripture is
So I
fine.
just toss the Grimnir out, right?
Hmm. Yep, you just roll the Grimnir, you don't roll on
That's
Grimnir as a player
good.
number 2.
Goblin. I hate this matchup a lot.
Well, it's not easy, after all, Blood is the most oppressive deck currently on ladder, and probably in the entire
Really
game,
annoying.
but only like 5 days
Oh
till the
yeah, the
nerf.
perfect curve is annoying. Yeah, we don't know yet what they're gonna nerf anyway, so
Yep,
I don't know how they could nerf neutral.
they can
They
simply
cannot
nerf
nerf it
Alice.
too much because yeah, but I mean, Alice is the point of the whole expansion. If they nerf it, I mean, it just like spitting themselves into the face. Like, yeah, I don't think they will nerf Alice.
Yeah, it is, like I said, like them claiming that they made a mistake, but I'd rather prefer that they will just accept that they failed and make something bad instead of trying to make some excuses and leave Alice in its current state. Like, in current state, Alice is simply too much overpowered and she needs to be toned down at least a little. Because player number 1, who
Yeah,
simply curves out with the neutrals and play Alice, have too much of an advantage with the stats.
yeah. So what would you play out now? Because these are the kind of decisions I can't really make all the time. So I would play Snow White probably now. Because I don't know if I mean I can use scripture next turn. If I just scripture the Farrier now, I cannot deal with the. And since I'm going second, my plan is to put down Snow White now. Then
Hmm?
next turn, Farrier put out Hound. So I will play out Snow White now, definitely.
Yep, Snow White is the correct play right now, because the Heavenly Hunt will simply trade with Feria, that's not what you want, while Snow White can trade and survive. And also, you don't want to use Black and Scripture, not because the Feria is a problem, but because you need to have something to remove Goblin Leader. Like, Goblin Leader is one of these really swing cards that can drive entire matchup in the another direction, so you really have to remove him right away, so he doesn't produce another 1-2 body, this 1-2 body, so Goblin also screws your Tribunal of Good and Evil, so it's also bad versus a Tribunal. And the Snow White can survive. If she survives, then you have some other options on the board, because then she will be
He
evolved and
traded
there
the
is still the
Farrier
hand.
into my Snow White. What the hell?
Razorry Claws,
Probably has a
maybe?
Hungering Cord in hand, but actually. And then Angel of the Word? Why would he do that?
What? He just angeled? That's interesting then. Maybe he had some other plan, but he really did fail.
Yeah, so I would put down Hound now, but you would probably Scripture.
No, Hand is fine. Hand is really good at the moment.
And I should I kill the Farrier or the Goblin?
You should kill the
Because he
Goblin.
doesn't have Evo next turn anyway. The Goblin, right?
Yep, you should kill the Goblin. Because even if he does play Alice on Curve right now, the Heavenly Hunt is gonna be 2-4, so he cannot kill it with Angel or Feria alone. And if Feria strikes into the Hunt, she's gonna die, even if she's buffed by the Alice. So then by the turn 4, you're gonna have superior board. Also got Black and Scripture, so you can play Biscalaria plus Black and Scripture or Goblin Breaker Tina. So you have 2 ways of how to deal with the current board and make your advantage. Also, you're protecting your life total with the Heavenly Hunt, so you're not getting too much damage into your face.
Yeah. He cleared the Snow White with another Angel. So I will just Tina now, probably. I mean, that seems to be the best play, and remove Feria and one of the angels, and kill the other angel with the hound.
Okay, so Tina right now is good, and that's what you have to do. It doesn't matter in which order you place your units, attacks and stuff, like all of them have 2 attack and less than 2 defense. So it doesn't matter. Just play Tina, evolve her, get rid of the entire board, and you have superior turn 5 because March Hard Teaching on Curve on the turn 5 provides a really good results. It puts you in a really good advantage because both Marchhar and Tina simply serve the same purpose, but the Tina is simply better versus neutral ones, thanks to her ability to shoot 5. Right now it's irrelevant, but the Marchhar body is actually really big because he's a 5/6, and that's something that's really hard to remove for blood.
He played Hector, evoed it, and probably going to trade into my hound as well. Yeah, that's sad. It's 4 HP, so I cannot clear it with the tea time. I mean, I can, but I drew Tribunal, so I would probably put that in Tribunal now because the tea time will get cleared anyway too, and this way I can save an EV point.
Yep, Tribunal is good. That Tribunal top deck is really fine because then you don't have to sacrifice your Marchhar. And also next turn you're gonna have like 6 mana, so maybe double Blackhand and Bisclaria. You never know what's gonna be. From his side, the only downside of playing Tribunal right now is that if he plays Abyss Blood and then strikes an Abyss, then you are losing one of your answers. But on the other hand, you have to defend somehow, and you have Heavenly Aegis, so this one can also come in handy later on when it comes to damage.
Dove and Goblin Leader. Ooh, I could top deck a Themis now, that would be sweet. Curate. Okay. So I can either Marchhar them, or Scripture them, but I think I'm gonna Marchhar them because then I just have a body on the board plus tea time is ticking.
Yep, let's do it. So you can use your Marchhar, shoot down the top, kill the Goblin Leader. You will only leave the Goblin on his side of the board. That's one of the problems, because he will just damage your face, but thankfully you draw your Curate, so you will heal your face for 5, and you'll be like full HP sooner or later. It's gonna be really hard for him to come back from this situation, unless he plays, let's say, Phantom Cat, which would really be a disaster.
Yeah, it was a Phantom Cat, yeah.
Also...
He played a Phantom Cat.
Okay, so if you played Phantom Cat and evolve it, that's good for you. Also, what I was trying to say beforehand was that he had at least 1 neutral card in hand before playing Phantom Cat, because of the Hector. Right now, have at least 2. So, like, at least 3.
Okay, so I drew a Grimnir. I would scripture the cat, and scripture the Goblin, and put out the Aria.
Okay, that's totally fine. Because the next turn the Tribunal is gonna activate, so he's gonna play with the RNG. So if he's lucky, then the Merman will die. If he's unlucky, then something else will get struck by it, so he can calculate his plays. But you also got your 1 evolution point, and you got your Curate. So even if you do not draw anything that's good for the next turn, you still have really high chances. Turn 9 is probably Aegis anyway, and the turn 10 you got your Grimnir, so after playing Grimnir you should be in the winning spot. So pray for luck at the moment.
Yeah, he played Alice.
Okay, Alice is bad.
That seems to be it. All. And the Feria. Ooh.
At least he doesn't have any evolution points.
It's a lot of stuff on board. Yeah, and his hand is almost empty. And I drew a Themis! Oh my god, Themis top deck.
Okay, so you're kinda lucky if you just drew a Themis.
It's now, obviously.
Ah, Themis now.
Wow, this was really lucky.
Yeah, so this was the luck to compensate the fact that you just hit your 25% chance to kill the Merman instead of any other big target. and you still have 1 evolution point.
Okay. Okay, so he played a cat and the Baphomet, and the cat dealt 2 damage to my face. I think out Edgis now and kill the cat. I don't think he can deal 8 damage in 1 turn. Oh no, he can. If he has 2 Razory Claws in hand, since I'm gonna leave the Baphomet on board, then he can kill me. But I don't have any other choice. I mean, I can put in the Curate, Evo it, and then survive. Actually, maybe that's the best play.
Yep.
Curate, Evo the Curate, and into the cat.
Yep, Curate is way better than Aegis right now, because she's still a 7/7 body after evolve. Okay, she's gonna be like 7/2 and die to anything,
7/2.
but yeah, but the next turn you're summoning your Holy Falcon, you also got Tribunal, you got Green New, which will sweep the entire board. He will only not sweep the Phantom Cats or Abyss, but there is high chance that he's not playing both of them. I mean, there's a lot of hybrid ones, but most of the hybrid versions are in Masters or above, and before Masters, it's just faster to play Phantom Cat.
Gilgamesh. What the hell?
Okay, so
And the Razor Glove.
so Gilgamesh is really interesting, but at
Okay.
least you didn't die.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna Grimnir now, I think. I drew another Aegis. I'm gonna Grimnir now, not Tribunal. I'm gonna Grimnir, I think.
Yes, you have to Grimnir because you want to protect your face somehow.
And he still will not be in Vengeance, so Emeralda is not a threat. Even if after the Falcon hit.
Yeah, but you still have to play Grimnir, because there is a chance he is playing another Gilgamesh, which would be really crazy. But he just showed you one, so there is this possibility. And the next turn, you probably got Lethal.
He played the Graf Mountaineer into my Grimnir. I only have 10 on board, and he has 12 HP to clear the board now, because otherwise I'm gonna die. So I think I'm gonna just trade the board. I don't want to put him into Vengeance without lethal.
Yep, you don't want to.
So I'm just gonna trade everything in.
Huh?
Be put down Aegis and play.
Yep, just do it. So
Yeah.
trade every creature you have, play Aegis, play, and just pray that he doesn't have another Gilgamesh. But if he have another Gilgamesh, then well then, there is nothing you can do about it. You have no words in your hand, you have no healing, so... Also, if he had double Raspberry Claw, he would already use it, so... Nope, he cannot. Yet.
It's Razor Claw time. Yeah, he has double Razor Claw, I'm pretty sure. No, he gave up.
Okay, he gave up, that's awesome.
He top backed another one. Well, no, he didn't. Okay, that was good.
Well, there was also an option that he could use Raspberry Claw and then Emeralda. But it would require a top deck out of him.
Yeah, because then he's in Vengeance.
Yeah, that would just put him
Yeah,
into
well,
Vengeance.
I got lucky.
Yeah, the Themis deck return
I had lucky
was really
too.
important.
I pray that you will be freed from suffering.
Really lucky.
Yeah, but getting lucky is also part of the skill in card games. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
not in everyone, because the Shadowverse is still not as RNG as Hearthstone, but almost every card game is based on the draw, so even if you are the most talented player in the world and you get like always these brick draws that you cannot play anything, then well, you will not win, simply. Let's just say you're gonna draw your deck backwards, so Aegis, Curate and something, then you cannot play anything for the first turn, so... that's a bad thing.
Okay, or your Neois. I'm gonna throw out the Neois. I'm really tempted to keep the Dogma, because it's Dragon and it's likely that he has ramp, and then I can just face him before the Sybil turn, if he's going to spend his time ramping.
Well, Dogma is tempting, but it's not good. You'd rather get a Snow White, or in the best case, Black and Scripture. Anois is also not needed. You really want your Black and Scripture, because then you can use Black and Scripture on his Draw Knight Ayala, so you prevent him ramp efficiently,
Yeah.
while also removing a creature. While Biscularia is still fine. Also, instead of Hallowed Dogma, you'd rather get Sacred Plea. So 1-2 into something curve.
I drew Hound and Curate, and now I drew Tea Time and Hound, so no plea for me.
Okay, it's still not that bad, because if you play the Biscularia on the turn 2, then
Ooh,
you will simply
scripture!
combo with the Marchar.
Yeah, I got scripture. Yay!
Okay, that's awesome, but now we need him to play something that can be scriptured.
Played the Ayala, so that's my lucky day.
Okay, if he did play and then Ayala,
So
then
Ayala's
awesome.
getting scriptured.
Okay, so if someone is wondering on Twitch or on Facebook, we have a slight delay because of stream services working like that you have a delay between cards, so
Ooh, and
he's
he
telling
would
me
have
cards
played an Erd onto the Ayala next
first,
turn, because
but
he played out
whatever.
the animated Erd. Wow, it looks so cool.
Hmm?
I would actually just pass now. I drew a Grimnir, and I have Oreo on one countdown, and he has an Erd only on board. So I think I'm gonna pass. I don't want to waste the hounds now. Really.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a waste of hand, because you can play one hand, evolve it, and then play a second hand. Like I said before, you want to apply pressure on his board, and that's probably the only way you can apply pressure on the current turn. Turn 5 is March Hard tea time, like 99% of the time, and then turn 6 you get your judge.
Now.
Yeah, I would just play both hands just to remove Earth from the board and simply present him with pressure, because if you do nothing, then he will attack you and play Draconic Fervor. So you will just let him ramp for free, and that's not what you want. You want to put up a pressure on the crucial turn, so turn 5 is either Sibyl or Fervor. Even if he does put Sibyl, then you will answer his Sibyl with your creatures, and if he does go with the Draconic Fervor, then you will just hit him into the face, like for a lot of damage.
It was Sibyl, but he didn't evo the Sibyl at all. He just left my stuff on board.
Well,
Why?
Then it's really interesting.
Huh. Okay, so I have my Aria popped. I have to kill something so I can use the Marchar. Probably I will just crash the Falcon into the Sibyl, Marchar, evo it, and just kill the Sibyl with the effect and not attack with Marchar, and then attack face with Hound and Hound.
Yep, that's the correct way of doing things right now.
I'm getting the hang of it again.
Yeah, because sure, you could shoot 3 into his face and trade into Sibyl, but we are facing a Breath of the Salamander possibility. So the way you explained how you're gonna trade is gonna be fine, because you're left with the 2-4, with the 4-4, with a 5-6, and the 4-1. So worst case scenario, the 4-4...
Conflagration.
Conflagration? Okay. That's also a card. But you are left with 5-6 on the board?
Conflagration is 4 damage to everybody, and I have a 5-2 tea time left on the board.
Okay, that's good.
I'm not sure what to do now. Maybe I could dogma the tea time.
That's not a good thing to do, because every time you dogma on the 3 counters, he's gonna expect it. So he's like 100% sure that next year the March card will pop out. That's not the kind of information we want to give to him. So if you want to trigger the March card, which is a really good card after all, because you get all your shenanigans with shooting and stuff, you want to do it in the next turn. So this turn you can simply play Judge of Retribution on the empty board and draw a card. So you're putting a 3-5 body. Of course, he can put out his what was it called? The Breath of the Salamander once again. But then you got your curates on curve. So and you also got Grimnir for finishing 4 damage. So that's how the game is gonna go. Also, you might draw something like
Blazing
Aegis.
Breath evolved. So my judge is gone. Healing back. So probably now I'm going to dogma the tea time. And then Evo it 3 damage for face and trade it into the Sybil.
Mm,
Or if you have any other
let's see
suggestions.
what you just do. You just go on Sacred Plea. So that's not that bad idea, but this will leave you without a pressure on the board. But yeah, first thing first, if you want to do it, just do the Dogma first, so we can see what kind of card you can draw. Maybe we can set up some
But
fancy clock.
would you put down the Snow White, Evo it, and attack the Sybil twice?
No. If you would like to trade Sybil, then it will curate, but because you got 20 life, there is no need to hero phase. So, Dogma into Marchar is probably fine. I'm not 100% sure what will be the best play, but because you want to close out the game, but you also want to get your Aegis on time.
Yeah, I drew a Naoise, so I'm just gonna put down Plea and Snow White.
Okay, that's fine.
And then, should I trade the Sybil?
Yeah, you totally should trade a Sybil, because if you do not, then he will simply kill your Tin Soldier and heal for free. You don't want him healing for free, especially when your amount of damage is so limited. Right now,
Couldn't have cleared the Tin Soldier with the Sybil without. I could have just healed with.
he can do it
whatever.
with Zeus.
So turn 10. Okay, he played out Ouroboros, so I want to have a Blackened Scripture now.
Yeah, Ouroboros
But I
is really
don't
nasty.
have again what to do. Probably I'll just put down Naoise and go for face with the Snow White. Because then he cannot kill the Ouroboros yet, and I can kill it next turn.
I mean, you don't care about him killing Ouroboros onto one of your creatures, and well, like I said, you have to play Naoise, so play Naoise, that's a given, but also play Goblin Breaker Tina, because this will force him to trade into something or on your board, so he will trade into the Goblin Breaker Tina. Sure, he will heal for free and can play him again, but right now that's not a concern for you. If you don't draw your Aegis, you're still gonna die. And if you do not play the Tina, then he will have a lot of other options what to do with his Ouroboros. So even if he does and heal for free, then you have 3 damage left on board. Sure, he can kill Naoise, and then you are left with Snow White only, but then you can play Grimnir, and the story continues.
I will probably play Curate. Oh, Salamander.
Okay, Breath of the Salamander
That's
is really
sad.
nasty right now.
I traded the Ouroboros into my Snow White. So, if I get a Scripture next turn, that would be a Curate Scripture turn. But I didn't get a Scripture, sadly. Not that lucky this time. So I can't really do anything with the Ouroboros now. Besides putting down the Grimnir and the T-Time.
Well, the Grimnir is probably not worth it, so it's more likely than not to put down a Curate. Because you just want the Grimnir effect for the next turn. Grimnir effect alone can kill Ouroboros.
Just Curate then.
Yeah, just do a Curate. I mean, Dragon games are really hard to win when you do not draw your Aegis. That's the only problem. Also, when they have this amount of ramp, so he ramped twice with Sybil. Yeah. It wasn't that bad.
Zeus!
Okay, this one is really hard on you. Also, didn't draw Themis or Tribunal, which would also help.
Yeah, I hope I can top deck one of them, otherwise I'm a goner. Aegis and Scripture and Hound. Yeah, well, this is kind of over.
Why so? If you say you just got Scripture.
I mean, I can put down the Grimnir now and clear his Ouroboros, but then he puts it down, clears my Grimnir, and he can still Evo it to trade into the Curate, and then just get 5 damage into my face. Or I could just Blacken Scripture the Ouroboros and put down a Curate.
Yeah, Blacken Scripture the Ouroboros and put down a Curate. That's a fine thing to do.
And I don't want to trade the Curate into the
No, you don't want. Of course, you're gonna die if he plays something like another Zeus and Evolve it, but there is no helping it. Also, same goes for the Genesis Dragon.
Oh yeah, Genesis Dragon. That's nasty.
Nah, he is.
Yeah,
That's
Zeus
also
for
the
my
match.
face. I had an Evo point. Oh, Queen of the Dreadsea.
Oh, so he's
Damn,
playing
I'm
that
sure he has
version.
something.
Well, if he played
And the
her,
bomb.
then that's over.
And the Genesis Dragon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shall I grant your fragile dreams?
Oh, I really like this dragon deck though. I really like Queen of the Dreadsea. It seems such a cool mechanic.
Looking like a true fool.
Oh, so he was just toying with you with the Bahamut? Looks like the Genesis. Kinda BM out of him.
Oh well,
Happens.
this was evil.
Well, I mean, the Dragon deck, they're not supposed to work right now, but they're working because they can simply ramp up versus slower decks, and Haven is not one of these decks that can win early game. So that's a problem when playing this on ladder.
Okay, we play one more, then we're gonna have a short break.
Okay,
Because I need to make a phone call, and then we can resume.
sure, no problem.
I still like Aegis. I think it's my favorite Haven deck. I mean, yeah, Seraph is a close second. I think maybe they are tied. I can't really pick between them. The Seraph is a bit weaker now than
Hmm.
Aegis, and that's why I play Aegis. But I like both of them. It's just like, I don't know, it's just fun to play. Even though he's a bit slower, I don't like playing like fast decks like Cat deck was.
Yeah, but
Hit myself on ranking up to Masters with this deck instead of just playing the meta.
yeah, no problem. I mean, it's fine, but it's just gonna take you a lot of time to rank up with any other deck that's not an aggro-based deck in the current meta. I mean, sure, there are decks that are not neutral, so Forest is also cool. So with Combo Forest, you can overcome some obstacles. Same goes for the Shadow. But other than that, if you're not playing Shadow or Blood, maybe the Haven is the second deck when it comes to win rate, and it's true. But it's one of the slowest deck out there. So even though you're gonna grind, that's just gonna be a really long adventure.
Yeah, okay, so curate Dogma plea, I would keep the plea and throw out the other two.
Okay,
Probably.
so just keep the plea. You're playing versus Forest, so once again, that's a matchup that most of the time you will not win. Thanks to the combo ability of the
Yeah.
Forest, he can just deal, at least most of the current Forest builds, if they are good, they will just deal 20 damage out of hand. Most of them just throw it out the neutral
deal with
package,
the
they are not
enemy.
playing it. They just go for the pure combo.
Okay, so he didn't play anything. Would you play out Arya or Snow White? I would play out Arya probably.
Yep, Arya is better because you get your evolution turn on the turn 5. So if you play Arya now, then you will have your Falcon by the turn 4, I guess? No, whatever. By turn 5. So you can attack with the Falcon and the Tiger. Still okay.
Yeah.
Because playing Snow White into the empty
Fairy
board
Whisperer.
will just give him the ability to shoot something down with, let's say, his Assault.
Still Justice.
Yeah, Silver Justice.
To be at peace.
Would you play out Snow White now?
Right now,
Because
turn
it's the
3.
target for.
Yep. Right now you want to play it, even though he can kill her, that's no problem, because you want to have a creature that can trade with his creatures, and he's already putting up a pressure, so he just played this fairy, and you don't want this fairy to get bounced back by his Ancient Elf. So just play Snow White, and hope for the best.
Okay, two fairies played out. Nobody really plays Ancient Elf now, though,
What? Ancient
as
Elf?
I have noticed.
No idea, but
Yeah.
most of the combo builds, they do, because Ancient Elf is really powerful. Like, it's the Grimnir. I mean, that's why Grimnir is really good, and the Grimnir showcased why the 2-3 ward is really legendary worthy stats. 2-3 ward on the turn 3 was able to stop most of the aggro decks, maybe not right now, because the meta of the neutrals is simply faster, but it was enough before. And that's good that he didn't play Ancient Elf.
Okay, I would just play out an Aria now and then trade the Snow White into one of the 1-drops.
No.
Probably the Fairy Bird so we can bounce it back.
Yeah, but it's a 2-drop, so yeah, just trade into his 2-drop, so the fairy one.
And you put down the Aria too.
Yep. You put down the area. Also, he got his evolution turn, so don't play anything else. There is no need to. I mean, if you want to swarm the board really bad, you can play your area and then Hallowed Dogma on area, and then the next turn is gonna be overwhelming of him because both area will pop out at the same time, so you will have your board full of creatures, and that will make your trades easier and it will make your pressure easier. So it's probably a correct decision, considering that you want to raise
Yeah,
him.
but wouldn't it mess up tea time? Because I have tea time for next turn anyway.
Yeah, but you don't have to play tea time if you have full board and he's the one who needs to defend.
Okay.
Also, it will draw you a card, so you got Themis on turn 6 if something miserable happens, and using Dogma now and putting more boards, more creatures on the board will mess up his Will of the Forest. So he cannot use it efficiently.
He played Ethium,
So I
the
suppose,
Fairy and the EPM into the
yeah, trade
Snow
and
White,
trade the Snow
that
White.
means just
Crying for help.
natural. Okay, so now I will.
Guide me, Elder Tree. Oh wait, crystals of slow shimmer.
I would trade the Falcon into the Fairy so I can put down tea time. Just evo it, kill the EPM, and then attack face with the other Falcon so I can have 4 stuff on board plus the tea time amulet.
Yes, but with the tea time, shoot 3 into his face and trade with the Tin Soldier. So we will apply more pressure this way. You don't care about Tin Soldier getting damage for 4, he's still gonna be a 5-2 after the trade into Elvish Princess, while you will deal 3 damage to his face, which will be important considering you have 2 Tigers on the board and the Falcon. So Falcon into the 1-1, then March her 3 into his face from the Evo, and trade.
Yes, it's done.
Okay, great.
The real battle begins.
Okay, it's gonna be a Tia, I think. Yep, Tia.
Magic.
Oh, the Crystalia Tia? That's interesting. So Fairy for free and then Tia. So he will get double evolution, I guess.
Yeah, he evoed the Fairy and killed my tea time and going to kill one of the Tigers with the Eve. Yeah, he did that.
You'll never get near the princess.
Okay. So that's interesting
me.
because most of the forest already sacrificed this package of the Tias. There were no space for Tias, but if he have room for it, why not? We just made a really good use.
So I drew a Snow White. I'm gonna put down the Snow White. And would you evoke the Snow White, trade it into the Eve, and then the Tia, and then go face for 6 damage? Or would you just put down the Snow White, trade the Eve with the Falcon, and go face for 4 damage?
Okay, so you trade the If with the Falcon, then you can play the Snow White and go for into his face, like you said. You want to save this evolution point to counteract to his evolution point later on. Also, you got double Naois, so if he is really close to assembling his combo with Roaches, then you can just Naois into Naois. Also, you got Curate and Themis. So, you don't want to use this evolution point right now, you want to preserve it, and there is just no reason to do it. Sure, he can bounce back the Crystalia Tia into his hand and play her again and play something else, but you don't care about it. Like, once again, because of the Themis decreases in your hand, both of them.
He cannot do it now because he doesn't have any 0-point stuff in his hand. So if he plays out something to bounce back, that can be only Nature's Guidance, and then he cannot play out the Tia for the Evoed Eve anyway. Plus, he would waste Nature's Guidance. Oh yeah, Glimmering Wings.
It's true.
This is a really old school TOTG or even older deck.
It's even older probably. It's like Agroforest, but Agroforest was kinda dead by TOTG. Because people were just playing a version with Crystalia Irines and Reno Jackson of this game, so Elf Queen.
Oh, yeah, Elf Queen's good. Well, he conceded.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, break. I'm gonna make a phone call and then gonna be back. Okay?
So just let me know when you are back.
Thanks.
I pray that you will be free from suffering.
Okay, so as you can see, he just went for a break. So while we are waiting, you're free to ask questions on Twitch, Facebook, or whatever. If you have something that concerns you with the game, or you want to know something, like, I don't know how long it's gonna be his phone call, but I assume 3-5 minutes is a usual thing. And yeah, that's also a good time for me to replenish the energy and drink something. Yeah, complete silence. But that's how the spectator goes. So in the spectator there is no music unless he puts down his source of music in his client. What legendaries to look when rolling for Havencraft on Runecraft? So wait a second, I don't know if this command is here or not. It should be, yeah, it's here. So TC Legacy, I made a guide a while ago. I updated it for the Wonderland Dreams, and the chart that was linked there to the re-rolling should be fine right now. Okay, so there is a link where the chart was moved. Anyway, you can simply open the Excel file, and then you will have listed all of the legendaries that are good or bad, or golds, which are good, which are bad. And you can simply compare how many cards you open, how many cards legendary or gold you have, and then simply decide what you want to do. Of course, if you want to reroll for Havencraft, especially, so Havencraft right now is using Aegis or Seraph. These are the only two versions with this legendary. Sure, Aegis is probably better when it comes to win rate, while Seraph is the deck that excels in mirrors, but it's not that great currently versus everything else. For Runecraft, there are two options. For Runecraft, most of the versions currently runs Wizardress of Oz. So she is the 5 mana for 5 legendary, which draws you cards until you have 5 cards in hand, then lower the cost of all your spells in hand to 0. When she dies, her last words are simply banish every spell in your hand at the beginning of the next turn, so that's a drawback to her. But most of the decks that play her are simply Airfright based, or they're like Winter Caprice versions. So they play Wizardress, they play Winter Caprice and change her into a snowman, and this will efficiently deny her effect. And the other kind of rune that can also be played right now on ladder is the Dimension Shift, the pure one. That's the one where you want to have Merlins in your deck. And the third one is the Daria Dimensional Witch, and she's played in the Daria Tempo, obviously. So that's the kind of deck. The spell boost one, you play a lot of spells, then play Daria for free, draw 5 cards, spell boost all of them, and just do it once again and once again until your opponent succumbs to your force on the board and dies. Anyway, okay, I can see it now. So yeah, it's moved to Mana Search Team, Comprehensive Shadowverse, Liquify, Guide, TOTG, but it should be updated for the Wonderland Dream anyways, so it's not that outdated after all. Okay, waiting time. Oh, so while we are waiting, I can also open, I hope it will not screw, if I open my own Shadowverse and reclaim my daily rewards. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, it's still streaming, guys, it's still streaming. So we'll just open it in the background, blah, blah, and reclaim my rewards until they are available while we're waiting for him. And because my reward was a card pack, I can simply do a pack opening. Why not? Everyone loves pack opening. And what are my missions? I can also check that. 3 matches Dragoncraft, 4 matches Runecraft, 1 match Sorrowcraft. Oh, but it's Runecraft or Bloodcraft. So Bloodcraft obviously, 20 rupees. I don't want this one. Win 6 ranked matches. Great. Another card pack. But I'm just gonna open the first one, start collecting packs for... Oh, I also got the Wonderland Dreams. Cool. So 2 card pack openings. I'm just gonna save gold for the next expansion, so collecting the gold for 2 more months. will give me at least some more applications and some possibilities for the upcoming meta. I already got 10 additional tickets for the future expansion thanks to the Grandmaster. And yeah, here comes the good luck charm, the good opening. So not only gold, which is okay, this gold is trash. Give a light full war sample, this gold is trash. But Aurelia, she's a fine one. So 5 mana to 6, she's really good versus aggro because when she's gonna be targeted, she's really hard to be removed with. She's immune to the Emeralda effect. So that's what makes her powerful, but of course Swordcraft is not the most played class right now, and it's not the best class right now, because Swordcraft most of the time is still gonna lose to Blood, so why bother playing Swordcraft? There's no reason to. If you want to rank up, just play Blood. It feels dirty, but it's there. Just play the best deck in the game. And what is that? Dead Moros. That's the card that people were deemed is overpowered. Even I was saying that this card is really cool, and it is really cool because it's like 5 mana 5/7. It can be 5 mana 7/9. Once again, that's cool. The effect is interesting because if you play it on the empty board, then his stats are superb. But most of the classes right now have direct or indirect counter to him, so nope. Shield of Flame, on the other hand, yeah, the Naruto card, like people are saying, this one is really cool, because it's foil one, so I will just get a lot of money. Rather a lot of vials for dusting it. So, while we are still waiting for him to come back, can I play one game? I guess so, info matches, yeah, so while we are still waiting, I will just play one match to make time pass a little faster and to not bore everyone out. Bloodcraft versus Blackcraft. Fine for me. I mean, fine for any Bloodcraft, but I'm going second, so going second it's not the best thing. However, the chance that I will not get neutral is really low, so I will try to find something that fits better on curve, so a 3-drop or a 1-drop. Here comes the 3-drop, so I can play Tove turn 2, then follow him up with the Goblin Leader, and just excel in combat. Also, if he doesn't play anything turn 1, maybe I will draw something for turn 1, that's the Wise Merman. If I play him, then he will simply play a 2-drop and the Wise Merman will die, so I don't want this to be unworthy sacrifice. Tove, so Tove versus Tove, that stuff, and I will probably not be able to come back in this match if he does follow with a Goblin Leader and trade. If he does not trade, then I can trade to a Goblin Leader and maybe even the scales, but he made a wise thing, and if I do play Goblin Leader right now, then he will play Alice and I'm just a dead man. Luckily, like, I mean, that's really lucky. I got the second off, so I can clear the Goblin Leader. Sure, the Merman will die, or the Tove will die. Play neutral Phantom Blood. Yeah, I just 3-Act 94. I just got the fastest deck out there because I'm waiting for my student to come back. So, because he's making fall call, so do not make the stuff boring while we're waiting for him. I just quit with a deck. And here comes the Angel of the World, which will be able to clear both of them. Scarlet into Phantom, that's cool, so at least the mana curve is gonna be fine. Oh no, it's just a game to kill time, and also because I got the Blood Quest. But yeah, he should be back soon, so we'll go back to Aegis Heaven. Scarlet Saber. Okay. So he trade without doing anything else.
Okay, I'm back. If you are.
Yeah, I'm there. While waiting for you, I just quit with the one game, but you can start, and I will just spectate you really soon after I finish mine.
Perfect.
I mean, I see your game, so that's no problem. So I will just do it like this. Shoot 2 into the Scarlet. Pass turn. Okay, so he's going to Squee right now. So I will just probably swap the screens. Yeah, we'll swap the screens. We'll see this screen. And yeah, the background music will indicate what's going on. My boy, Saber. Jak zawsze jest jakiś tam pies w tle.
I am a flower. I bloom on stage.
A co poradzić, na psa akurat nie poradzę.
I sing.
Sure, fair, yeah. So we can trade. Then I will have to trade with the Phantom Cat Evo, but that's not great. That's something that I really have to do. Then I got Emeralda. It's okay at least. Only to damage. Maybe I will be able to overwhelm him, but I doubt it. Exactly the same deck as a spawn, but just with Phantom Cat, right? No. It was probably, I don't know if it's the current list, but it was, yeah, it was this one. So it's not the cats instead of spawn, this list is kinda different.
Is fighting and despair all you know?
Okay, but we can see ages now, so I will just stop talking about the current game.
Okay, I don't know if I should talk because you're streaming.
No, it's fine.
But,
I'm already expecting you game. Like, I put mine in the background, so I'm just focusing on what
Okay,
you're
I'll
doing right
just
now.
keep the tribal scripture in the meantime. I got a team too.
Okay, so you're going first, and you are playing versus Forest. So versus Forest, Tribunal is not that good because he will swarm the board with fairies. So it will be simply a waste most of the time. That's not what you want to achieve.
Yeah, well, too late.
Okay, so just remember it for the future. Yeah, some dogs are barking outside, but I cannot do
Petrol.
much about it.
Okay. He played Ding Dong, and I could scripture it, but I won't. I don't think I should.
Well, so
Why
the
is it
Bluringer
like-
Angel, that's really interesting.
Yeah, what can the...
But you have to scripture it, because it will deny him one card efficiently. Also, it's just a blocker, so when it comes down to trading with your Evo turns, it will just stop you in your ranks. That's you don't want anything stopping you from advancing.
True. Jured. Okay, he's really thinking about something.
Yeah, turn 3. So many things. I doubt it.
Nothing, and I drew a plea, so that's kind of a no-brainer. Just a plea and pass.
Sounds fine.
Maybe I could have Dogma the plea. PTP! It's PTP Forest.
Okay, then you shouldn't lose this one. I
Okay,
mean,
would you Dogma
that's
the
gonna
plea
be
now?
interesting, but we'll see. So what, plea, and you would like to Dogma? No, there is no real reason to use Dogma on the plea. And the reason is you want to use your Halo Dogma on either March Hard Teachings or the Biscolaria to put up a pressure.
Pass.
No, play your Goblin Breaker Tina. You have to put something on the board. Even though you are not gonna use Evo and he's gonna use something and Evolve and do it for free, you'd rather, because you know you are playing versus Path to Purgatory, you'd rather make him use his Evo turn and even kill Tina, that's fine. You have follow-ups with Judge, for example. So if he does something and evolve it and trades into the Tina, then you can use your Judge to exile it.
Focus on your inferno, Tina.
Okay, okay. He mischieved my Tina. And this was interesting. Okay, now I would probably judge the... I can draw a card and maybe get Aegis.
Say fairy. Oh, so his turns are really interesting. Anyway, still probably the best idea to just use Judge, so we'll draw a card. Or not.
Yeah.
Or not. Wait. If you do use Judge...
So, not or yes?
Yeah, wait a second. If you use Judge right now, then you will overdraw one card. That's the liability of the move. But
True.
on the other hand, you probably have to overdraw something, because there is no other play you can do, and passing right now is not an option.
So, shouldn't I just put back Tina, maybe?
I mean, if you put Tina once more, then you're still not applying too much of a pressure. If you put Judge, then you will overdraw a card, and it's fine. It's still fine because it's only one card, and you just want to draw your edges as fast as possible.
Aegis.
Yeah.
I think I just don't like overdrawing in Aegis because there's a chance that I'm gonna discard my Aegis.
Yeah, it happens,
Anyway,
but that's why you play
let's
multiple
see.
of them.
Let's see
You're not
how-
playing one.
Okay, he just spamming out Fairy Whispers and keep on discarding them. Bit overdrawing.
Okay.
PTP, so.
Yeah, he will just make a lot of shadows and try to overwhelm you with 6 damage every turn, so it will remove your creatures, while your plan is to develop Aegis on the board, and then it's immune to the Path to Purgatory damage, then you have your curates and such.
Okay, a Snow White got discarded, but I drew another one, so. That's fine, I would probably play out the Marchar and the Snow White.
Don't push yourselves too hard.
Okay. That's fine, you overdraw it Snow White, I see. So, yeah, if you play a Marchar and the Snow White, then you can shoot 3 into his face, then trade with the Tin Soldier and play, like I said, the Snow White. It's totally okay.
Crystals of snow shimmer in the night. You were done for.
Okay, 2 PTPs out.
Okay, so double path, but he still got only 8 shadows. Okay, Altered Fate, 16
Yeah.
shadows. Ah, no problem. He still requires like 14 shadows more to get things
Yeah,
going
we'll
on.
probably put in the plea now and... the Marchar, just so I can draw a card. Or no, to Dogma the Marchar first, so I can get a card.
Okay, so do it first. It's fine,
Yeah, and
because like we said before, you just want to rush things a little and
another
make some
Now
pressure.
is-
Okay, so double now is totally okay, because
Okay,
it
so-
will simply prevent 2 turns of the Path of the Purgatory. So you put now and it's only 3 damage in your face instead of 6.
Yeah, okay, so now plea and maybe Tina. Trade the Snow White into the May and go face the Tin Soldier.
Okay, so let's say you got 8 mana, so Plea and Tina. Sure, that's fine. You got also Grimure and Grimure. So these two might be able to finish it later.
trade. Oh fuck! I forgot to trade. Never mind.
Well, if you didn't trade with
Please.
Snow White, that's not that bad, but still, it will be just better to trade because you are left with a 2/3 creature instead of the 1/1. and he's free to go face or do something nasty or bounce it back, or I don't know, there's a lot of options that Forest can do with its cards. Worst case scenario, Pixie Mischief. That is the one that can stop you a little if he would bounce back 5-5.
He traded the May to the Snow White and put on another May. And then mischief the May, and my Tin Soldier went back into my hand, and the May again, hitting my Snow White again, and the Sylvan Justice into poor Snow White.
Okay, so it would be just the same outcome, so luckily you gained 1 damage.
Nature Guidance the May, put out the May for the 3rd time. I'm not sure what he's aim at. Oh, yeah, well, he's gonna evolve the May. Yeah, he did.
So
then,
he's gonna trade the entire board, right?
Yeah, the entire board is gone, basically. And I drew another plea. Still no sight of Aegis. So I think I should put by the Tin Soldier and the plea.
Well, he still misplayed because he could use the Sylvan Justice just to kill the Snow White. Or whatever. So then he wouldn't need to use
Tin
Natural
Soldier
Guidance.
plea.
Right now, 9 mana. Okay, so that's a 4/5 Tin Soldier. Yep. Play a Tin Soldier. But there's a chance that he will activate somehow his Path to Purgatory. So you can play Tin Soldier, plea, and also Noise.
Okay, done.
Just to not get 6 damage into your face, and also to have more creatures. So in case he plays a Pixie Mischief once more, there is one more target on the board besides the Tin Soldiers to be bounced back into your hand, and also scoops up Will of the Forest once again, and you're just gonna win next turn if nothing bad happens to you.
Wood of Brambles. Really interesting deck, and another Ding Dong and the Goblin Mage.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, Wood of Brambles
Seems like a really mean deck.
Yeah, it does look like it.
Yeah, well, he traded my Tin Soldier with the Goblin Mage and 2 Fairy Cycles. Okay, so now, yeah, we're Grimly Eye Lethal.
Yeah, with Green you have Lethal because you can evolve one of your creatures, you still have evolution point. So that's gonna be enough to win. Good.
Oh well, this was sad for her.
Well, happens. That's what you get when you play a meme deck. You're simply gonna lose more than you win. That's why meme decks are called meme decks and not competitive decks after all.
Let us conclude. Whoa, you're strong.
Alright, let's do another one.
Yeah, why not? So we have like what, 46,000 right now?
Pray that
Yep.
you will be freed from suffering.
And also Waskin Masters on something because we got plus 137, so that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I play a lot. I haven't played anything basically during the weekend because I wasn't home.
Hmm?
But I can play a lot this week. So.
Right now we need around 35 more games. 35 more wins than losses. So it's totally doable.
Well, yeah, I can play like 30 games per day for sure.
Hmm?
Okay, so Tammy, Scripture, and Hound. I will only keep the Scripture.
So you're playing versus Dragon? Yep, just keep the Scripture in case of Ayla and try to be lucky and get your Sacred Plea or Biscolaria. One of them would be cool. 2 of them would be awesome. Okay, I see how you got Grimir and Marchar. Marchar is fine. It's not that awesome when you're going second, but it's still a really good card after all. And also, especially not versus dragon, unless it's a neutral dragon. Sure, some neutral dragons will appear from time to time, and they will try to combine the power of Forte and the neutrals, but they're not strong at all.
Reporting for duty.
I see.
For duty.
Okay, so he got Oracle, already ramping up. But for you.
Crystals of snow.
Yeah, well, I just played the Snow White and I drew an Aria and played out that too. And he's just ramping and ramping. Okay, so he Blazing Breathed my Snow White.
Well, he passed turn 4, so that's really lucky for you after all.
And the Dragon New Fist. Okay. Is it Discard Dragon? Maybe?
Okay, wait a second, I need to catch up to the current life. Maybe I missed something. No, I'm live.
I'm basically Blazing Breathed my Snow White and then Dragon New Fisted it. And I drew a Grimnir.
Oh, Dragon New Fist. That's interesting, but Dragon New Fist was a card that was present in the Aggro Dragon, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of removal that he's still using from the old times, because it was really efficient versus old Shadow Reaper, when Shadow Reaper was overpowered, because 2 mana, 1/1 that grows with every kill was too much of a threat for the game. Right now 3 mana is not even played, most of the decks.
Yeah, okay, I think I'll just pass now, probably.
Yep, you can just pass. There is no reason to play any card out of your hand. Especially since you got Tribunal and you got Grimirs for... You rather keep your Grimirs for turn 10 for the maximum value or just for evolution points. You also got the Blackened Scriptures. I don't know, there is nothing that can go wrong with passing up right now. If you had Dogma, then maybe Dogma would be cool, but without Dogma, that's not even an option.
Okay, drew on the Aria, but I would play out Tea Time now. He just oracled one more.
Yeah, I see, he just oracled.
So Tea Time is it?
I mean, Tea Time is really cool when it comes when unexpected, but if you play the Tea Time, he's simply gonna play something, evolve it, and trade into it. So it's just better to play Biscularia right now, and then pass the turn. Even though it's kinda intuitive, if you play a Marchhar, he will use his evolution point to easily deal with your soldier. That's not what you want to do. While if you play the Biscularia right now, it's gonna count down right away, and the Marchhar Tea Time can put your Tin Soldier immediately. So it's like immediate threat versus something that's delayed. And you just want to put your Biscularia into action. You still have no ages, means you have no way to close out the game versus Dragon. You just have to focus on answering all of his creatures or whatever kind of stuff he plays. But he's doing weird stuff like passing up the turns while not doing anything at all.
He passed again. And I drew another Aria. So I can put down the third Aria too and then go for face. Should I Evo the Falcon and go for face or just go for face with 2?
You should Evo the Falcon. You should Evo the Falcon because this way single Breath of the Salamander will not be enough to get rid of the both Falcon and Tiger. And you will also put up much needed pressure. You also got double Grimir, so you can count it like 8 damage. So simply evolving Falcon right now will put up a much better clock than not doing it. Also, you got 3 evolution points, so just do it for damage.
Where he Conflagration did.
That's not a problem at all, because if he did Conflagrate, then he didn't play anything other in this turn.
I can just drew another Tribunal. I think I'll just play Tea Time now and then pass.
Okay. Because you have nothing else to play, and the next turn your Biscularia will still activate, so you will have some creatures on the board. So yep, right now Tea Time is okay. Also double Tribunal, so you will be able to answer all of the weird singleton things like Bahamut's, Zeus.
Yeah, he played out Zeus and evolved it, so I can just Tribunal it next turn.
Okay, so the only bad thing about him playing Zeus and evolving it is that, I mean, did he go face or he traded?
He went face.
Okay, so you still need to sacrifice something to make room for the Tribunal, I believe. And the other thing
Yeah,
is, you might be dead next turn. So that's really something you don't want to face.
So how about Tribunal and the Grimnir?
Tribunal.
Oh no, there's no space for it. So just a Falcon into the Zeus, Tribunal it, then Evo the Tin Soldier for 8 damage for face.
Okay, so let's see. You have to gamble, not less. So no matter what happens, you have to gamble that he will not play the Witch of the Dread Sea and then under Zeus and Genesis Dragon. So like I said, you can trade the Falcon, you can play the Tribunal, and then just Evo the Tin Soldier and swing 8 into his face. So it will be like either have an answer or he's gonna die. Also, he only got 4 cards in his hand. There is a chance that these 4 cards are not the 3 exact combo pieces that he needs in this situation.
Yeah, let's hope for that.
Yeah, let's do it. It's still not like the Tempest of the Gods meta, where he could do the combo with the Wind Rider Zell, which was really strong too.
Odin! Who plays Odin, seriously?
What, Odin? That's interesting stuff, but that's utter garbage right now.
Finish my Tin Soldier and trade the Odin into the Tiger.
That's not a problem at all.
That's pretty awesome.
Ah, so you're gonna win this game? More likely than not.
Well, put then the Tribunal, Evo the Falcon so I can set up lethal with Grimnir next turn.
I wouldn't use Tribunal, I would use one of the Blackened Scripture at the moment, because with the
Scriptures, yeah.
Scripture is better.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because
Makes sense, but you would still Evo the Falcon.
yep, I would still Evil the Falcon to set up a lethal. Because
Yeah.
Scripture right now is better, because it can deal with him right now, while the Tribunal will be needed if he plays something like Bahamut or heals his stuff and such. Right now there's some possibilities. The Witch of the Dread Sea can be a really deceiving creature and set up some...
Another
Impossible.
conflagration, but that won't save him.
Yeah,
so
conflagration will do nothing. Also, you got double Temis, so... and have no answer, like have no indestructible creatures yet, like you have with Aegis.
GG. Finish with Grimnir.
Finishing with Grimnir is always cool.
Also, if he would have played the Bahamut next turn, he would have just killed the Bahamut because he would have killed my Tribunal anyway. Oh, and
Oh,
he's
yeah, that's
BMing
true.
me with the disconnect.
Ah, well, so we are gonna wait. Happens, like the bad manner are present in every game, but that's only in the online world. Like in real games, sure, people can be mad, but most of them won't act like this. When you play cards like Magic the Gathering or chess or any other, let's say, board game instead of the online game. Because on the internet people feel so anonymous and they can just act like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are waiting, 70 more seconds. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, we are at 44. Yeah, well, they should do something about this.
Yep. Because it only happens when the match is over. That's the only real problem. Like, you just killed your opponent and they just check the match results like, wow, whatever, you just won the game. So what could go wrong? But maybe there is some sort of, I don't know, maybe technical issue that prevents them from doing so, but I doubt it. Most of the games have nothing like this, and it works totally fine.
Okay, so let's do more.
Sure.
I pray that you will be freed from suffering.
Okay, cracked. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fancy way of relieving stress. Not gonna solve the cube. Solving the cube would be simply too much of a sound hassle. But still a fine way to do.
Okay, Tribunal, Aria, and Plea. And I'm going second, so I would choose the Tribunal and keep the Aria and the Plea.
Okay, wait a second, I need to say. So, Tribunal, and you are playing versus Rune. Okay. Rune is
Yes.
interesting matchup.
Fighting in despair.
And you are going second, so out of these three, you can throw the Tribunal, keep the area, and play, like I said. Tribunal is not that good when you are second. When you are second, you want your
I
evil
drew
point.
back a tribunal. Why can they fix that? That I cannot draw by the same card that I mulliganed out. That's so stupid.
But it's not the same card. I mean, it's the same card when it comes to name, but it's a different copy of it. It's
I know,
it's
but
not bugged.
still.
Yeah, but it just is real. Like,
Let's hope it's not D-shift.
it works like in physical grades. Let's say you would play a physical card game and then you throw your hand aside and draw some new cards. There's a chance that you will just draw an additional copy of it. So that's how it works right here. If it's a D-shift, then you really need a Hallowed Dogma, but even Hallowed Dogma cannot help you too much. And if it's an Earthright rune, then you will probably overkill him later on. It already looks like either D-shift or Temple Area.
Yeah, okay, so turn 3, I would play out the second plea and just keep from there.
To be honest, it's probably better to play Grimir right now, just for pressure purposes. So you are putting a 2-3 on the board, and he either have to do something with him, or either kill him, or you are guaranteed some 3 points of damage. The other thing is, if it's a D-shift, then it's still better to play him, because you are not gonna survive till the turn 10. The game will be over before that happens. And he has no
It's
evolution
surely
turn.
D-shift, I'm pretty sure it's D-shift.
Yeah, it looks like it by the magnitude of spells he did. But there is like this slight chance that it's like a meme deck or something other. I don't know, we both don't know. That's why you just play Grimir. It's guaranteed points of damage. If you are gonna ever win against this, you require it.
Yeah, he played Merlin, it's surely D-shift.
Well, it didn't on my screen. Oh, but okay, so we passed the turn, I guess. You should totally evolve the Grimir to deal 4 damage. So you played this too fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You should try evolve the... Like I was just saying, you require the pressure. So, had you evolved him, he wouldn't be free to play the Merlin and trade it without losing it. Also, your Grimir wouldn't die, so he would require another card, and he already played some Angelic Snipes and Missiles, so maybe he would lack 1 damage to kill him. And it's like +2 damage, and you would evolve the Falcon this turn anyway. So... there it
Okay,
is.
so now I'll wake you up. I would probably give Turin Snow White or Tea Time, and then Evo the Falcon and face.
Okay, but you have to do something about Merlin right now, because he didn't on the previous turn.
Sure, the
So...
Merlin and-
So you want to play Marchhar, and then evolve, shoot 3 into his face and trade. You don't want to evolve Falcon right now, as he just draws some Soul cards, because Falcon can be bounced back by Kaleidoscopic Blow. Same goes for the Snow White. While Grimnir was the one target that couldn't be bounced back, and he would have...
Falcon cannot be bounced back, he's 3 mana.
It's 3 mana? The heck?
Yeah.
Okay, so... Okay, if he cannot be bounced back, then it's fine, but it's still the Marchhar evolution. Because it's more
Okay,
bodies
so
on the
trade
board.
the March into the Merlin or trade the 3-point into the Merlin?
You trade the Marchhar into the Merlin and 3-point to his face. I was totally sure that the Falcon is 2 mana. But yeah, if he's 3 mana, then okay. Like, I was mistaken.
Yeah, well, I just had enough time. The delay really sucks that you're just behind a bit.
Yeah, but if you made it in time, then it's
And
great.
if I wait you up, then the time expires sometimes.
Well, the way to cancel some of the things is that you can... what was it called? You can go to the settings tab and then check out the animations. You can disable most of the animations and such if you want the game to progress faster. It's really good for the tournament purposes, so if you're ever gonna play in some tournaments, it's really good advice to disable all of the animations and such, so when you have really complicated turns, and of course it's tournament and not ladder, so on tournament you rather care about the win or lose more than ladder, then the animation time, disabling them off, is just giving you more time to think in your turn.
Yeah, okay, so now Snow White and Doria.
Um,
Or Judge for a draw.
Judge is gonna be better. He still needs to evolve something to get rid of Judge, and it will draw you a card. You're still in a pretty
Judge.
terrible shape because of how many spells he played, how many spells or cards have in hand, and how many times he spell boosted. Like Merlin spell boosted all of his hand for one. So I suppose you're not gonna win this one, whatever you do. If you would play Arya and Snow White, that would be only good if you had Dogma, because then the Dogma could get rid of something on the Biscuit Arya.
He played another Merlin.
That's okay, she's gonna die to the Judge, or require something to it. But, well, he doesn't care that his Merlin is gonna die or not. He simply have too many cards in hand. That he can spell boost. And he will also find 2 more spell boosts to it. So it's really not working out in your favor.
Yeah, well, he cleared my Judge with the Wind Blast and the Merlin. And I discarded a Black Inscription. I still do not have Aegis. Okay, so now all I can do is basically Aria. No, maybe I should do Snow White, evolve the Snow White and put out the 2 hounds. Better. How about that?
Okay, so Snow White, evolve it, and you want to play Heavenly Hunt, right? But I think you'd rather play Snow White, Beast Colaria, and Heavenly Hunt. After evolving Snow White, obviously.
But should I evolve the Snow White? Yeah.
Yeah, you should, because even if he kills her, then she's still gonna be come back in the evolved state, so you can play another Heavenly Hunt, while you're still probably gonna lose. I mean, I guess his next turn is the turn when he can go with all of the dimension shifts.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to have both hounds up for 2 wards.
Crystals of snow shimmer in the night. The real battle begins. Your kiss will awaken me.
Okay. But I mean, even if you do play both wards or whatever, he's not gonna care about it. With this amount of cards, he will surely find a removal for it.
Okay, we survived 1 more turn, and I drew another hound.
Okay. Sounds cool.
So I can put down 2 hounds now.
Yeah, you can put down 2 hands. But it's like only making your suffering longer. He's still got 14 cards in his deck. There is this slight chance, but that he didn't had his Dimension Shift in his hand before, because he just used the Sorcery Cage, and you are never gonna use Sorcery Cage unless you got the Dimension Shift in your hand. So we can safely assume that he already got one.
And the Fiery Embrace.
Fire Embrace is super, like, I don't know, crazy card. People do not play it.
I still don't have Aegis. Yeah, well, this is almost GG. So I will put down the Judge now. His face. Should I evo one of these snowmen?
Snowman, wow, crazy.
Yeah, so what should I do?
Okay, so right now, definitely do not evolve the Snowmans. If you want to evolve something, then it's better to evolve the Tin Soldier, because it's 1 more damage, and the Snowmans can definitely be bounced back.
Yeah. Play out the Judge first.
Yeah. So play out the Judge first to draw a card. Maybe you can draw something that's gonna help you.
Curate, not gonna help me.
Okay, Curate is not gonna help you at all.
Just Tin Soldier evolve for phase then.
Yep. And
I
let's
mean, even if I
see.
draw Aegis, my evo point will not do anything, most likely so.
Yeah, it will not. The only card that could help you with damage process would be Green New.
flame destroyers and the golems and the dimension shifts. And
Yeah, so
this
it's
is
like
most
go on
likely
and
over.
go on. There is no way he's not gonna win out of
Yeah,
these
he
cards.
With just one dimension shift. Well, I really hate dimension shift. It's so boring to play against.
Well, yeah, but it's like natural counter to decks that are slow and your deck is not fast. While I really, truly have some respect for the guy playing it, because he's playing the dimension shift in the meta that's filled with bloods, which are destroying dimension shifts after all.
Alright, let's play another one.
Yeah,
Let's hope
sure.
I get something not dimension shift.
Yeah, maybe. Can play against something else. Oh, also I see you got only minus 83, so the odds are still going in your favor, so you're losing more than you're gaining. Losing less than you're gaining.
I'm losing less, yeah. Yeah, the game knows that I belong into Masters sometime.
Yeah, sooner or later you will reach it. If you keep progressing and playing.
Oh, you've checked out the smite tactics?
No?
Not yet. Oh well, yeah, it's as you said, it's. I mean, it looks like a duelist ripoff.
I mean, it might be fine, but Duelist had a competitive scene and I don't know, it was just working out for me. While Smite doesn't look as appealing. I mean, if Smite had a competitive scene, then maybe I would play it. Same goes for Gwent. I would just play a little more Gwent if Gwent had competitive scene, but Gwent has none of this. Same goes for Smite Tactics. Duelist is still waiting for the Season 2 Wars, and in Season 1 for Wars in Duelist, like, I'm still the best Duelist player in my country, and I was in top 15, something like that, on the World, so at least it was cool there. But right now the Duelist is really small, and the game is not developing in a really good way. So that's a pity, because I really like the game.
Okay, I'm gonna play out both Beast Colarias.
Yeah, so Biscularia into Biscularia. Looks like really aggressive opening, but the game will still goes down to whoever plays Aegis first.
But
I
she
suppose.
plays Alana.
Okay, if he plays Elana, then it's gonna be something else. Elana is
Okay,
interesting.
Should I play out Tina now or wait for the Evo turn?
You should probably wait for the Evo
She
turn.
has to trade.
Uh,
I would only put down Tina now, so she has to pick between clearing it or putting down a healing minion. Because if she puts down, let's say, healing angel or rabbit healer, has to waste an Evo and trade, and I can just script through it. Well,
well,
let's
no,
skip.
do not play it. I mean,
Yeah.
the other reason to not play it is that the Healing Angel is a neutral card, so it can be dealt 5 damage with the Tina evolution.
Oh yeah, true. I always forget it's a neutral card.
Yeah, it is. Like, people forget when they say it in the other decks. Like, before the Shadow, there was like a mid-range Shadow, and it had this Angel, and people were like, wow, that's a neutral card. Yeah, it is.
Okay, he played a Snow White and the Rabbit Healer. So, what I will probably do...
Crystals of snow shimmer in the night. Look at you.
Evo the... to kill the Rabbit Healer. Put down the Heavenly Hound. Crash the Falcon into the Snow White and banish the Snow White with the Scripture. So I can clear his board. Still gonna have a 6-3 Tiger and the 2-4 Heavenly Hound on my board, and he will have nothing. And I will have a Aria popped next turn.
Yep. That's a really good way of doing things at the moment. Because then your area will pop, and you will have a lot of good things on your board, while you still have Themis Decree, which is a bane for Elana decks, so when he ever goes big on his board, you can just Themis. And then you have Judge for the next turn, which is also a good card to deal with some resources out of his.
You are done for.
So Holy Flame Tiger into the Rabbit Healer, the 2-1 into the Snow White, then you can simply blackhand and use Heavenly Hunt. Okay.
He just played the Tribunal and the plea and cleared out my Hound, so I still have 6 damage for face. Actually, for face if I even if I combat I want, so I have only 8, which should be enough. Should I put down the Judge now for draw, or should I just put out the plea?
In this matchup, you want to draw your Aegis, you don't care about the pressure or damage. We already know it's Elana, and well, this deck functions on healing, so he will heal his face as many times as he needs, and the Judge for pressure will do nothing. Also, if you play Judge right now, that board will be really tempting for him to use Themis Decree. That's not what you want to be met with. So
I'll just put plea.
Yeah, just put a plea and attack him for 8. And some dogs are barking outside. Like I said, can't do much, and that's what it's like living in a sometimes noisy neighborhood. Like, I'm living opposite of the train station, so there's some trains passing by and such.
He played Themis.
Okay, so
I drew a Snow White.
So if you played Themis, it's okay, because you didn't add up anything to your board, you just lost what you had. So no things.
Okay, so now Judge maybe for draw?
Still no. Princess, Snow White is good, because, like you said, you're not gonna win by damage, so in this matchup you want to preserve your resources, the ones that can kill his stuff, so you want to remove any stuff he plays, and then play Aegis, because without Aegis, you're not gonna finish up the game, like never. You will not break through his line of defenses.
I just play Snow White and pass.
Yeah, just play Snow White and pass. Even a Snow White is kinda not a great play, but she's still okay. Like, just to do something, to pass the time, and to make him react. Maybe he will do something and waste a card on her, which is gonna go in your favor, because every resource in his play points he invests into destroying the Snow White, which is not a threat at all. She's like 1 damage only. Will be just working out for you.
Well, let's see what she plays. Please Gloria and the Tenko. So probably he will evolve the Tenko and go into Snow White.
Okay, Tenko is again one of these interesting cards that allow Elana to be more effective, but still Elana is probably the worst out of 3 having 3 balls, so okay, maybe 4 even,
Yeah,
because there's a
it's
Storm too.
The real battle begins.
And Tribunal to kill the Tenko and then go for phase for 2 with the Snow White.
Oh, crystals are
Because I have 2 in hand. Good?
Wait a second, I need to see the board. So let's see, if you play a Tina right now, there's a chance that she will be hit with the Tribunal, but it's okay. You can play your Tribunal and Tina and deal 2 damage to his face. Right now it's fine because you want to keep at least 1 creature on the board, so even though, like we said, that we established that you're not gonna win by damage, because you got only 1 Evo point and Tina can be effective only with Evo point, playing 1 right now, it's not gonna harm you at all.
Okay, his Tribunal cleared my Snow White. So he still has to deal with the Tina probably.
Okay.
And he has only 1 Evo point left. Probably he's playing Elana Aegis.
If he's
And
playing
he has
Elana
Radiant
Aegis,
Angels.
then it comes down to the same thing, so whoever plays
Yeah,
Aegis
who-
first. So Aegis versus no Aegis, that's not easy.
Okay, he doesn't have Aegis because he wasted the last Evo point on Radiance Angel to clear my Tina. So I will most likely Themis now. Oh, I drew Aegis! I will Aegis Evo the Aegis and crashed into the Radiance Angel.
Oh, if you got Aegis, then it's perfect. Do it.
let us conclude.
Like, if someone is wondering, the screen is a little
How do you
behind,
evolve
obviously.
your cards? By clicking on it and clicking evolve, or pulling the yellow thing?
I'm clicking them and then clicking evolve.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
did the same.
it's personal thing, like anyone do it in their own way, but I prefer clicking on the card and then clicking evolve because it leaves less room to make a misclick. Stuff
Yeah, I
like
did
that.
the same thing. Okay, well, it's just dummies now, basically.
Yeah, right now you got your ages, so there
Yeah,
is
so
a
I'll
really
just
low
face
chance you're gonna lose.
dummies.
Oh, here comes Tenko. Interesting. And yeah, technically he can also, like you said, just go face and then play your Temis. Even if he does overheal, then you will just attack him with Aegis 3 times for 30. He's not gonna heal for that much.
I'll put them just Snow White 2 after the dummies.
There is probably no reason to put a Snow White right now.
Okay.
I mean, you don't need any other creature on the board, and he will just trade her with the Falcon anyway, or he will just play Grimnir or something else. So it will just give him the ability. Also, let's assume he plays Judge in his deck, then he will also have the additional effect. You don't need anything else besides your Aegis. Also because the Tribunal is gonna count down on the next turn, and you got another Tribunal, you got your Judge, so you can play both Tribunal and Judge if it happens to comes down to two creatures.
Yeah, well, I won. You played Grimnir, I banished it with Judge and went for face with Aegis and won.
Okay, sounds awesome.
That was a lucky top deck on turn 9.
Yeah, it was really like, I mean, it's sometimes it's like with these cards you didn't really need Aegis before turn 9, so well, turn 9 comes and then it's the perfect opportunity to draw it from your deck and to win the game.
He's BMing me too with disconnect.
Oh, another disconnecting
seriously,
guy.
these people.
Yeah, they have no shame. I mean, you lost. Well, whatever. Making your opponent wait is not gonna make you look better at all.
About Grail.
Hmm?
Tarnished Grail.
Yep, so what about it? Because
What do you think about it?
oh, okay, because your voice was cut out in the beginning. So, Tarnished Girl was really cool mechanic, and I think it was really good in the Tempest when the decks were built correctly. But Tarnished Girl is more like Arena Take 2 card than Constructed. Because in Constructed, when you want to play Amulet on the turn 8 that's gonna win you the game later on, it's better to just play Seraph.
Seraph.
Yeah, it's better to play Seraph. And Tarnished Girl can be too slow. Also, in the current meta, so in the previous meta it was kinda good, dealing 2 damage to anything else. But in current meta, dealing 2 damage is not gonna clear anything, because Alice is everywhere. Alice will buff all of these creatures out of 2 HP range to 3 HP, or even 4 if he plays double Alice. So 2 damage from the Tarnished Girl is not gonna clear anything, it's not gonna help you, and the shenanigans you can get, like the cards you will get from the countdown amulet going down, so it's like 3 of the 4 random cards are good, but like I said once again, it's too slow and you will probably die before the effect happens. While when you play Seraph, you just pray that you will survive for 1 turn, then you go off and win.
Yeah, well, makes sense. Okay, let's play one last one, and then our time's up.
Okay.
And I'm going second. You would never keep the Aegis in Mulligan, right?
And what are you playing against? I still do not see an opponent yet.
Going against Blood, and I drew Tea Time, Aegis, and Neois.
Well, you are going against Blood, there you have your answers. Answer why you do not keep Aegis versus it. I mean,
Well,
you can
yeah,
you can
we
keep
need early
Aegis.
stuff.
You can keep Aegis when you play Heaven Mirror. So that's the only time where you can probably play it, because the game is most likely decided by whoever plays Aegis first. So if you are going first in Heaven Mirror, you keep Aegis like most of the time, depending on what are your other cards in hand, but you'd rather keep it. If you are going second, there is of course the chance that your opponent will play his Aegis first and you will be second, but it's still improving your chance of drawing it, because if you never draw it, then you are gonna have a bad time in Heaven Mirror. While for the others matchup, you don't want to keep it in hand. Maybe versus Dragon, but you never know what kind of Dragon it can be, and you can win the Dragon matchup without Aegis sometimes.
Yeah. So he has Baphomet and Goblin on board, and I drew an Ares.
Yeah, I
But
see.
I would still play out the Aria.
Yes, Aria is better. Because if you play Naois, you are not preventing any damage with Naois. He will just trade the Baphomet and then swing
Yeah,
one
which
to his
is-
free. So Biscual Aria is way better.
But yeah, you can just play it. Goblin leader is there. Oh yeah, it's a good curve.
So he had Goblin to Baphomet into Goblin Leader. That's perfect for him.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not perfect. Perfect would be tough, obviously, but Baphomet is also cool.
I drew the Tina, so I have a good 4. I would put them the Grimnir now.
Yes, do it. You definitely want to have him trade something out of your Grimnir. So,
But just put a Beekeeper into it, bodyguard.
well, that's a pity. But
Well, I
if he
didn't
did,
know.
then he didn't put a goblin on the board, so he simply prevented one body. That's fine.
Oh, he put Alice. Ferment into my Grimnir, and now he's thinking of trading something else. Yeah, he traded the Goblin too, and then just hit my face and spawned the Goblin. Okay, so now it's Tina time. I'll remove the Alice and the Goblin leader.
Okay, so.
Obviously.
Oh, okay. I thought I was super behind because we were saying about the BKB, but now we see it's Alice. So.
Yeah, I said that I'm afraid. I mean, he can't.
Oh, okay,
play
I
that.
thought
That was-
I was delayed and he just played it. No, okay. So with Athena, sure, kill Alice and
Yes,
then kill the leader,
I think that the Alice and the leader.
obviously.
Oh, he has Varia too. Seriously.
You can do nothing
Grimnir.
against it. I mean, sure, you got your Themis, but it's Themis on the turn 6 and not turn 5. If Themis was on turn 5, then maybe you could do something about it right now. I really doubt you will be able to keep up with the pressure, especially because he played Baphomet already. So you can be 100% sure that he has something that can either be a Phantom Cat or Abyss.
Yeah, well, this is GG.
Yeah,
I cannot kill the.
yeah,
Now and
that's
clear
the game
board.
over. I see the board.
Sad. This is very sad.
Yeah, you can only kill 3 creatures out of his board. That's barely enough.
Yeah, well, that's all.
There is no much to it. You were just going second. Were you going? If you were going first, then you could simply use a Themis, but then the mana curve would be different, and well, all of things would be different. But sometimes that's why, like the perfect prime example. Why Blood? Why play Blood? Just play your creatures. Do not think about it. Do not play about and do not think about anything. Play 1, 2, 3, and be happy with 3 wins.
Yeah. So, thank you for this session. And do you have time on Wednesday?
On Wednesday, most likely yes. But we can talk it out on Discord. I will write to you when I'm free. But
Sure.
Wednesday
We'll
sounds
discuss it then later.
yeah, Wednesday sounds fine for me. Because I got assigned
Alright.
2 trainees, so one more besides you. So right now I have 2 for this week's session. So I
Oh.
will also have to deal with him. But Wednesday, right now I have nothing scheduled for it, so I will just take it into account.
What is the other student playing? Blood?
No idea. I didn't play with him yet. I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's interesting. Okay, then see you on Wednesday, then we'll talk about it.
Okay, see ya, and good luck in your games.
Yeah.
Okay, so he disconnected. Yep. So that will be it. If someone from chat have any other questions, then feel free to do it right now. If not, then I will simply end it. It was fine. We won some games. It wasn't that bad at all. And he also kinda gain some ranks and such. Yeah, transmission just ended, I see. Steam is not trying to fool me. And it's still 30 minutes too early to get my daily rewards, so there's no need for me to go for the daily rewards. Anyway, you can feel free to follow my, I don't know, stream, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. So Facebook is mostly Hearthstone, Twitter, some random stuff, while stream is also random most of the time because there's like PlayerUnknown, League of Legends recently, Hearthstone. Yeah, I will stream some Hearthstone, some team, some tournaments, and that's it. So that's it for today, and thank you for coming in. Have a good night or a good day wherever you live, and see ya.